I was about to say good morning. I don't know why I do that. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Commission on Gender Equity for our first hybrid meeting. Actually, this is our first hybrid meeting. We've had online and we've had in person, but we've never had both. So, and I know we have a few folks, I believe Simone will be jumping on in a little bit. But I'd like to call to order, start with a roll call. We have Andre, Shannon, Jasmine, Sharon, Emma. And online we have Kim and Yvonne. Missing at this time is Joy, Chantel, and Simone. Okay. Acceptance, is there a move to accept the minutes from our June 6th meeting?
I have a
correction. Yep.
I was present and I wasn't listed.
Gotcha.
That could be added, please. Yep.
Right. Any other amendments or modifications?
It's just spelling of my name on page 1 for 3.
Sorry, page 1 and page 3?
Nope, just page 1,
Page 1.
number 3.
Number 3, thank you. All right. Any other amendments, modifications to minutes? Is there a motion to accept as amended? Andre? Emma, thank you.
Sorry, because I abstained because I was not there.
Okay, and abstaining. So all those in favor? Six, 7. Kim, were you voting yes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 7 yay, 1 abstain, and 3 absent. Okay, thank you. All right. Is there anybody, there's a guest online? Is there?
That's the
That's
sample,
the
yeah,
sample.
just in case, yeah.
Let the record show that the guest is just a temporary placeholder
If someone.
and not a
Yeah.
public participation. All right, old business, we'll start with number A. So the commission ordinance and bylaws. So myself and the co-chairs, Shannon and Yvonne, met and discussed the ordinance and the bylaws as we discussed last month. I then followed up independently with Jasmine and Simone around the bylaws and some of the research that I was done and the information been provided by the Corporation Counsel, information by Brandolin, looking at the 2 documents. And it is our recommendation at this point to recommend that we dissolve the bylaws with the understanding that our ordinance still provides our governing structure and guidance to function fully and effectively as a commission. So suggest that recommendation.
Can I?
Of
can I
course.
make a-
Okay.
When you say, it's, not dissolve it,
Mhm.
does that mean get rid of it altogether?
So dissolve would be dissolve the bylaws and
Okay.
our default guidance would be the ordinance, which does appear to recommend and outline all of our duties and responsibilities and structure.
Okay.
So the understanding of those of us that reviewed it is that the recommendation is that it would not impede or negatively impact our functioning as a commission.
Yeah, it's actually making it more difficult because let's just stick with one guiding set of principles and just go with it. We reviewed it. Everything we need is there. If there's anything we can deal with, we can go to Corporation Counsel for guidance, but to try to operate under both has been more difficult than it needs to be.
And changes can to the ordinance
Absolutely.
through a multi-step process.
Yeah.
But instead of hypothetically, instead of 6 steps, both back.
You want to entertain a motion?
Yeah, I
to-
believe that if that is something, if that recommendation is something we want to move forward on, we would need a motion.
I would like to move a motion to dissolve the current bylaws.
Is there a second? Andre, thank you. Okay, sorry, I'm going this way, I gotta make sure it's happening.
That's okay.
So who did second that? All right, so is there any discussion? Again, I would just repeat specifically for the record, the dissolving of the bylaws does not negatively impact or impede or restrict our functioning as a commission. We can continue to be engaged, and in reflection of the two documents, the need to function under the duties of the ordinance actually give us almost a broader scope to really address gender equity in the city of Norwalk.
Can you just speak again, who made the motion and who seconded it?
Yes, Yvonne made the motion to dissolve the bylaws, and Andre seconded.
It's on.
Oh, thank you.
On the record,
Simone was able to join.
Simone was able to join on camera, on Zoom.
Thank you, Simone, for joining us. All right.
And I think we all need to vote now if we are in favor.
Yes, I
Christine.
was just going to see if there's any further discussion. No further discussion. Head on a swivel. Got them by the plate. Got the camera. All those in favor, please raise your hand. If those of you that are online only, if you could literally do the little hand raising motion, because it's a little bit distracting to see real hands and up. Okay, so keep your hands up, so I can count, please.
Can you repeat what we're voting on, please?
Yes, I'm sorry, Simone. There was a motion to dissolve the bylaws and defer to the ordinance as our structure and governing guideline. Is it okay if I take the vote again? Okay, all those in favor? In favor? Abstaining?
Mhm.
Voting opposed? Thank you to those thank you to everyone here. I think as you'll see later in the agenda, we'll actually be discussing the ordinance and trying to identify some objectives for us as a commission, which I think will really help the opportunities for us. Okay. We do have a minute taker that listens to these afterwards, right? We have a note taker that reviews
Yes.
all of our.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just not gonna look at capturing everything in my handwritten notes. Okay, thank you. So I'm actually gonna turn over to Yvonne for you could just go right in the order, Yvonne. You have B, social media project plan, C, highlighting gender diverse commission and board members, and D, nope, you just get in.
I only get two. I only get two.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so social media project plan, we had the opportunity to meet with Commissioner Morris, and we had a discussion about probably building a strategy behind social media. I looked into what the Commission on Bike and Walking, Norwalk Bike and Walking does. And it seems that according to their strategic plan of 2024, what they are posting themselves is educational material, whether it's sharing content. Their intent is to do that every 2 weeks. They also post a video every quarter. They send out as well an email newsletter every quarter and publish educational material in Spanish as well once a month. So I checked against their social media postings, and it seems like that's where they're going, what they're doing right now. And it seems like there is different members of the commission who have been designated to do a specific kind of posting. So every person in the commission took a specific posting that they would do, and they have divided up the work amongst them. So that's what the strategy looks like for them. In our case, the previous discussion we had was about, starting somewhere, and for example, expanding the reach of the city of Norwalk through our own social media page would be great. and just expanding it through the people that we have reached to as well. Currently, the Bike and Walking Commission have about 500 followers, so and they're pretty active. So it seems 500 is a good number. However, it's not a huge number. So there is like the comparison there to see whether the effort would be, it will amplify the work of the commission to be able to do more social media. Do social media, period. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Simone, if you wanted to add anything to that.
I'm in agreement that starting small is a good place to start. There's obviously a lot more potential for it, but with limited resources, I'm in agreement that starting small and looking at what others are doing is a good strategy.
Mm-hmm. As the commission works more towards the conversation of the calendar that is coming after the next 2 points, I think, and the commission decides in what kind of activities they will be participating on. That's the kind of things that could be highlighted in social media as well. So I don't know if this requires a vote, but I would definitely recommend the commission to move forward with implementing social media, starting small, and then while is working on a strategy to follow.
So I think part of what the next step would be to identify the content and who posts it. All right. So while I don't think we need a motion, I do think we act like an action of some sort.
An action plan.
Not a voting procedural action, but okay, who's gonna do the first post, and maybe we rotate, somebody takes a month. So that kind of, I guess, operationalizing what we're gonna do on social media is, I think, the next.
May I ask?
Yeah.
What do in terms of when Yvonne, when you guys say social media, does that mean reaching out on Instagram? Does that mean going on Facebook? I mean,
Good point.
Does that mean going out to doing a Wix website or a constant content, newsletter each month saying what we did the month of June, what we did the month of May, on and on it goes, and who's responsible for that? Because we all have daily lives, busy lives, and we don't want one person to be responsible for all of that. And as much as I want to take on a social media post, unfortunately, I have a busy job that I do operations with. I can't post during the day. My social media is not, so that's just not possible.
That is a great question, Andre. What we were saying, and I think that we want to highlight, is that we could start very small, starting with the most popular social media pages, which are Instagram and Facebook. I think we are really, really far from even producing a newsletter, especially because we don't have resources to get help that is needed. And then, the low hanging fruit, or the easiest way to start, is really starting by resharing some things that are happening in the town of Norwalk, that the town of Norwalk is already posting in their page, and start highlighting things that are relative to what we are doing as a commission. So if we, for example, are engaging into supporting Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which happens in October, we engage into sharing information about that, what is happening around town, what are the organizations that we are partnering with doing. So, and I think that, a good strategy will be to divide the work amongst different people and commit to having a person having, having a specific role that they will do one post that they will do a month, and another person that will make it a quarter, and so on. But we need volunteers and people that will step up to say, I can do this specific thing.
I think from a strategy perspective, once we look at the events, if someone is willing to go to the event and forward using the nonprofit's resources and posts and with like a comment on top. And that's, you can do that very easily, right?
Like Visit Noah.
How?
Like Visit Noah, they have their Facebook page where they post their events,
Yes.
and we can repost and reshare their events.
Right.
Sorry, I have a procedural question as far as the city is concerned. We're a commission of the city. Not to add to your plate, and I'm not saying it's you. Should we be providing the content and someone from the city side be uploading it? What's the procedure? Like, I don't know if they want passwords to different accounts that then they can't, what's the access, all of that type of back end stuff.
So what I do know is that someone from those commissions that do have a social media presence, they do share and get feedback from the city department that they work under, but it's still the responsibility for someone to post. But I'm happy to facilitate. I mean, communications is my background, so if there's anything I can do to help, I just can't be making content, but I can definitely help make sure. I mean, it needs to come to me anyway to just, verify that I've seen it before it goes out. So, I mean, if there's something that I can help facilitate, but, outreach is something that, I should be assisting with and helping you all do, so.
Simone, I'm sorry, are you good?
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just trying to balance seeing who's in the room and hands online. So thank you, Simone, for your patience. Go ahead. Can you
hear me?
Yes, now we can. We can hear you, Simone.
Okay, I'm here. I'm just looking for the room number.
It's 220.
Is it 232?
No,
They moved it to 220.
Second floor.
Second floor, 220.
Okay.
So Simone is transitioning to in-person. Is that what you were raising your hand for? Or did you want to comment on the content at hand?
No, I have some.
Would you like
I
to
want
wait
to
till you
comment
get
on
into
the
the room?
content. I can. Hi.
Hi.
Is there an available seat?
You're going to come sit right
Why
here.
did you hang up on? So just pause for a moment. While Simone is getting settled, then I'll just mention or ask this. You may not have the answer, Yvonne, but what does the Bike Walk Commission have a protocol that they follow? Like procedures and steps when they're ready to post and what they do? Do you know?
No, I don't have the answer to that.
I can speak up on behalf of the Arts Commission because I worked with the social media person on that a long time ago. We actually had a paid person at the time, but remember we sat under a different umbrella. We just posted and people get their eye on it, and you trust the people that you appoint to the commission, and that was that. Real process.
Because from what I'm understanding, everyone kind of just explained is what we want to post, we share maybe to her the thumbs up, and then you post, so it's not really real time. That could be
Everything has to go to the communications department before it goes.
No, that we're not clear that it does. That's the point.
No, everything that we want to post for anything that's city has to go through communications, right?
It doesn't have to go through, but someone internally just needs to be aware that it's being shared. So typically,
So would the city say, no, you can't post this?
no, I don't think so. No,
So
and I
it's not an
think, and I think
approval, it's an
also.
awareness.
Correct, and it's just a matter of just a second pair of eyes, but also if it's content that is connected to other established accounts that are sharing verifiable information, I mean, it's just a matter of just, yes, I saw it before it went out. It's not a matter of yes and no.
So it's awareness.
It's awareness, yeah.
It's not approval, it's
Awareness, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a second pair of eyes. It's a second
Yeah.
pair of eyes, basically.
Yes.
Just saying, okay, I've seen this post. Okay.
Yes.
Simone.
Yes. So the last thing is that I know for sure that, like the
Yvonne?
commission will. Yes. Oh,
I
sorry.
just want to give, no, my apologies. I just want to give Simone a chance now that she's sitting and settled to contribute what she said she wanted to do before. If you had something.
Yes, yes.
Right.
What I heard in the room was that we need to be more specific because we're using the terminology social media and not saying what we mean. So what I hear is we've outlined a strategy that is more comprehensive, and because we're saying let's start, there needs to be an interim document that's very specific to say social media equals Instagram and Facebook. And also, if we're talking about content that needs to go to be seen, I would say we need to develop 30 days of content because we don't want to be doing one-off getting it's going to slow the process. We would do a month, let's say 30 days of content, share that information, get any feedback from the city, and then move forward with it. In the comprehensive plan, one of the ideas was to have an intern. I don't know the feasibility of that to help us with posting, but then we could, in the interim plan, have 3 volunteers or however we want to handle it. But we need to put it on paper. Otherwise, it's subject to misinterpretation of what we really need.
That'll be the asker. Is there anyone willing to do that and put it on paper to develop the intern?
But if
Sorry,
if need be, I'll take that responsibility and put that on paper. If everybody gives me clear guidelines, I will put that on. I will write it up and I will share it out to the.
I'll be happy to work with you on
Yeah,
it. So
that's fine.
if you take the lead on the draft, sorry.
Yes, I'll take the lead on the draft.
But it feels like it makes more sense to keep it with the people who are working on the overall strategy than you starting from scratch to create something, because what Yvonne, the team had is a strategy, but now we're saying we want a simplified version. So instead of starting from scratch to create something, to me, it would seem that we would extrapolate from the larger document a more simplified version that works rather than a bunch of volunteers starting from scratch. And then I'm happy to do that and then hand it off to whoever, to another set of eyes. But I don't know that it makes sense to start something else, to restart what we've already created.
That makes sense.
So my recommendation is, and I do this all the time at work because I'm on safety committees, I'm on a bunch of meetings, and when we want to restarted, or not restart, but revise a policy or guideline or something like along the plan, we take what's currently there, we meet, or we have a set of second pair of eyes or whatever, we meet and we say, okay, how can we break this down into a smaller document, but instead of starting from scratch, let's take it from this document and put it into a simpler document.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think if I can summarize, I think what I'm hearing, Ajay, I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And I think what Simone is saying is maybe Simone and Yvonne could take a stab at an initial document to run through, you have the right word, sort of an interim modified plan.
Yeah.
And I think, Yvonne, you alluded to earlier, maybe a tying to the calendar, which we'll be discussing in a little bit, so that might make sense. And then once we get that document, that working group, then that's something that we can all sort of iterate upon and comment on. The process.
And then can I just share,
Is that, I just want to make sure I summarize.
Yes,
my two
no, that's fine.
colleagues. Great, thank you.
and can I just share, I think what needs to be determined, I mean, in the meta universe, Facebook and Instagram can be connected. So one person
Yeah.
can
Yes.
have the account, and then if you would like to add me as, just someone, in the city to be part of it, I'm happy to give my Facebook, or not Facebook, at least it's, multiple people who have access, and if you need to transfer it over, but you don't have to necessarily, you can connect your post and it's the same post. So it keeps it simple, you only have to just log into Meta once.
And to Simone's point, like once you have the schedule, you can upload it and schedule it all.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's not going live every morning. It's a whole plan and it's scheduled out, ready to go.
And it can be connected to the calendar, and I'm happy to coordinate with whatever needs to be coordinated.
And if we can just, what are our goals for this? Maybe like just 3 top goals so that we're kind of like not just posting for the sake of posting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's my question. I thought maybe I missed that. Like if there was the intent, if I hear a lot of sharing of events or what's already out there. So like, what is the goal of our presence on social media?
Yep.
Is it awareness? Is it recruitment? Is it connection to what is happening in the city, what's happening in the state, and in connection to our mission and things like that. So maybe I missed it, or we just figuring we're talking about it now, like just in general.
It seems like a good place to take a step back based on today's conversation and the email that Christina sent out with the ordinance to then land on the 5 objectives, where we then go back to the plan and make it fit the objective so that it makes sense. So
When we get to that, I'll make sure. Yvonne, sorry, wanted to jump in, and I'm sorry I cut you off. You were saying?
No, I'm good. I agree with everything that's been said, and we can work on something during the month of August since we don't have a meeting, and run it by to send you a preliminary, so by the next meeting the commission is in a good place.
Great, thank you.
Don't have any notice.
We do not, no.
We have a meeting in September.
September, yes.
Okay.
Traditionally August, there's been, the last 3 years, August always gets canceled.
Just glad I
Yes, I was gonna remind us at the end. Yvonne, you actually have the highlighting of gender diverse commission and board members next?
Yeah, we worked with Emma on that, and Emma produced a beautiful email that is ready to go. Brandon was gonna help us connect with the get us actually the contacts for the staff members that are supporting commissions and boards, so we can communicate with them. So that's kind of ready to go. I think the only next thing that is missing is a next step on how to start getting to know the other commissioners and boards, and that's something that we can discuss now. Emma and I had a conversation about maybe having an open house for our commission to get to know other commissioners and board members. Would be a nice thing to do.
So we can get to know each other on different commissions in case we don't see each other on a daily basis.
And Yvonne, you had mentioned, and Emma, whichever one of you want to comment on it. When you mentioned it on our pre-meeting call, you had mentioned that it's not necessarily exclusive to folks, to gender, it's not exclusive to populations that are directly impacted by gender equity. It's really open to everyone, but the emphasis would be to make sure gender diverse individuals are encouraged and welcome to attend, sort of in a very welcoming capacity, correct? I just want to, so it's something that's open to the public, but obviously
not the public, commissioners and board and board members.
Open to commissioners, correct? So all commissioners can attend. The focus is on meeting and getting to know our gender diverse commissioners throughout the city amongst ourselves.
Yeah, and allies.
Okay.
And allies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it all depends on how people identify, right? So we can't be like, so it's important to open it for everybody, and then, people can, through informal chats and so on, we can get to know them a little better and start understanding how they want to be highlighted and how everything comes together.
So there's an email ready to go out.
Yes, I think we're just waiting on this information.
I just sent it over.
Oh, okay,
so you
great.
guys are ready to go.
Great.
Yep.
And then I don't know who we want that to come from. I don't know that it should necessarily come from me. Happy to send the email on to anyone who wants to send it. Yeah, I could. I don't feel like it should come from me. But
would it be best to come from us as a commission? Or should it be something that comes to the mayor's office?
I would have to double check about that, because I definitely should be CC'd. I'm not, I can get back to you because about who the email should come from. I was assuming it would come from someone representing the commission, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think I would just be able to see it.
Emma, your email is beautifully signed. Says Emma Dignoti in representation of the commission.
That was just a draft.
Was this email draft sent out?
Not to everyone, just
Okay.
to our.
It goes to the staff members of the different commissions and board members to introduce ourselves.
I mean, I'm comfortable sending it, if that's the appropriate ask.
And then they'll send it the information that they want highlighted to.
Mm-hmm.
So I can forward. Yes, if that works. Thank you.
And then you can CC me if,
Sure.
to help facilitate if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, if I have any questions, I'll reach out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Calendar of events. I want to thank Sharon for putting this together. I know Chantel, I think, can go on and add to it. I'm not sure. Can I share my screen?
Excuse me.
But what I like about it is it's a draft, but it's something to work off of. Is it?
I think you can share it.
You should be able to share the illustrations if you were sharing at home.
For the meeting, literally.
You get to share on the bottom.
Yeah, no, I am. I've got share on the bottom, but I'm trying to find the right screen to share. Photo share camera.
Do you have it open on here?
I do. How do I get to it? I lost it.
I just don't have it on my screen.
thank
So,
you.
were you able to get it? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I could not access this. This is amazing.
Yeah, but it wasn't sent, this was not sent out.
The link was,
The link
but
that
I
was-
apparently folks can.
Yeah, the link, the one that was in the link, the one that was sent out wasn't working the link.
Yeah, but it wasn't working for me either.
Yeah, but I guess the access, you have to have access to that, right?
It was
You know
just
what?
kind of a draft, so I hope
was just
they
a draft.
opened
I
it
have
up.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you just hand me one of those copies? There's a copy right there in the middle. Thank you.
No, it's not, it's that.
Oh, we're almost there.
I see.
Ooh, we did it.
Sorry. Thank you. Yes, it's a draft, but it is something for us to start with and start to react. So what I would probably recommend is that first off, I will put this into a Google Drive doc that is shared with all. We'll make sure the access is granted. Just give me a couple days to do that, please. But one of the things that I would want to, first we can look at the content, but you'll see that there's also a row D, the column D, that is assigned commissioners. What I would also then propose is that in here, the media content to relate to that event. So, for example, the now,
You get the keyboard on that one.
so. There we
Doing
go.
great.
So we have, in this document, we have the date, the month, the happening, the event date and time where we know it. I think ultimately, as a commission, we could aim toward having a commissioner kind of take on that event as a lead person. And then that same person could help generate content that will go somewhere. It's just a suggestion. Have to do it. I'm just suggesting that's how we
Could
use
you push
it.
the thing, so I can see the,
Of course, there we go.
Do you need one?
Oh, we have a.
oh, sorry, right in front of my eyes, guys.
Oh, good.
If the Pride in the Park, the Pride Month is at, Pride is at, Vets Park.
Mhm.
It's the same date next year.
Okay.
Give me one second. Well, you know, Andre, would you mind
I will
making
send-
a handwritten
Yep,
note to
I will
that
send-
so you remember you can
I'll send-
it?
Alright, yep,
I would love for this to be a
working down.
collaborative document that we
Yeah.
all work on.
And then, City Pride flag, I know all those dates for June already, so,
Excellent.
because I've worked with TCC on that, and
And is the goal here, isn't necessarily to go to all these events, but to find the ones that we want to highlight to go to?
Be aware of, so maybe it's an issue of, and it's not in the right comment, but
I see my name's on there.
it could be, is it promotion or involvement? Right, so there might be something that we want, an activity that we want to promote versus being directly involved with. And so I think, and I appreciate, Sharon, that, you know, what's the goal of this, right?
Yeah.
So when we get into the new business and we're talking about the ordinance, there are direct statements in the ordinance that speak to are then doing this and why. So I think that follow through and that continuity, I think I hope will help.
And if I can add one thing,
Yes.
just something to consider for everyone to consider is we have this great list of events, incredible organizations that we probably want to lift anyhow, but to consider a speaker series, having a guest
Yeah.
on maybe every other meeting, speak for 15 minutes about, you know, what their model is, what their mission is, et cetera, et cetera. And you could almost build off of this.
And one thing, I'm not sure if you have it on here, is the legislative calendar.
Yep.
Because there's nothing that prohibits us from bringing
Right.
speakers to the meeting to then meet us and the public to talk about legislative issues. So I think, so I'll add that in
Oh.
here.
okay.
I'll add the legislative.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you have that date, you have the calendar link?
I can access it.
Okay. Because it's already on my phone.
If you'd like to add it, that'd
It's
be
whatever,
good.
yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
whatever, yeah.
All right, Andre, you're gonna get first pass at enhancing this calendar.
Sorry,
So- Okay,
I
all
like
good.
to,
No apologies needed. Doing good work. Okay. Other comments, questions about the calendar? Anything that jumps out at you that you're like, I kind of like the whole entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all.
I love that.
I just have one question on the bottom. It says calendar city of Norwalk Civic Day. Is that
Is that the link?
Those are some of the city links.
the city of Norwalk link for the calendar? Okay.
The notes on the bottom I didn't put in, I don't know who put that in there, but somebody did.
And then we can add to,
Maybe that was
The- we're gonna have a women's business event, October 13th, I'm pretty sure. That was,
the information back to the.
yeah, the commission's more than, welcome to attend that and join us for that. That was a really well-attended event last
October
year.
15th?
Yeah, at,
Is that Norwalk? Cole?
The cold.
Wall Street Coles, not Java Coles.
People just.
Wait,
people
what?
to see.
What?
Wall Street Coles.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would have shown up at the Coles and
See?
can I get out?
October 13th at 5:30, or 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
There was one thing that Sharon has sent to you, but I just did it today.
Yeah, equal pay day.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll just set that up.
So
No, that's wonderful.
March
Equal pay.
26th.
It just, again, I'm just gonna repeat myself. Who would wanna add that? So somebody's gotta add that.
Yeah.
into this thing.
The only concern is that the link, when I tried to
I'm
access
gonna-
the link
I'm
right
gonna
before the
open it
meeting.
up again.
Okay, perfect.
So within 2 days, you'll all have an active, hopefully, and let me know if it's an issue, but I'm gonna put it on a Google Drive. For example, when we did the Elevate and Lead, and other work, we had a Google Drive that we used that I, is a fine. Go ahead and get that out.
I can certainly either contact the, Elevate and Lead.
Excellent, thank
You all, agreed to keep that going.
Yeah.
you. I'm sorry, I feel like I haven't looked at the screen. Anybody comments, questions, concerns from any of our colleagues online? Sure, including. It's good? Good? No? Okay. All right. Okay.
And then just about August 26th, I will
Yeah.
check to see if there's anything that we're gonna be doing and I can report out. I know it's kind of a month of not being active, but if we are doing something on the city side for August 26th, I will let you all know.
Women's Equity Day.
Yeah, Equality Day.
Equality Day.
Thank you, Brenda.
But I'm not sure as of right now. It's not on the calendar.
Thank you.
Not inclusive.
All right, terrific. Now I have to figure out how to stop sharing this screen, which I know how to do. I hit the button.
Yeah, as much as we can get our hands on the date, the earlier the better, because I think that's part of the problem why sometimes we can't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They can find out
the
like
day
at least 2
before,
weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
But I
birthday.
will say too that a lot of times when there are certain events at City Hall is usually organized by an outside entity that wants to come in and collaborate with the mayor's support. So it also required another entity to be in touch. So that's kind of how that process works. But I can definitely inquire to see if anything has come in. But as of right now, I don't see anything.
I would love to see this committee drive something like this, because this Women's Equality Day branches off to a Latin version, a Black version, like there's many Asian version. So there's the overarching one, women, and I would love to see us, because this is gender equity focused. This is something meaty that we can push forward as we talk about the agenda.
Is it the Women's Equality Day? Is
Yeah.
that what you're
Yeah.
referring to?
Yeah, and one of the things you could do, since this overlaps with this NPS event that we're gonna collaborate with, but you could have maybe a speaker there to talk to the students about equal pay day, the importance of it from a women's perspective. If that, like, just to kind of like start tying things together, so we're not doing like extra stuff.
Okay.
While you have the audience too, that would be really interesting if they would.
I think that's the first day of school too. We talking about specifically
Yeah.
August 26th, yeah.
24.
24th, it's definitely that week.
Something that week. I think it's that week, right? Yeah.
And I had a thought about that Equality Day. Sorry, I keep saying equity.
She's talking about
The
Equality Day.
Oh, first day of school is the 26th.
Oh, sorry, I'm totally messing up sorry.
Well,
Equality Day, I thought it was
Equal
in
Pay
March,
Day.
but you were talking about August. Okay.
Well, what you have to say matters too.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I was saying equal
Um,
pay day, she's talking about the equality day.
Right.
So,
Yes, and.
yes, yes.
Correct.
So here's I just want to throw this out as an idea. As you know, a guy on this commission, I think, we should maybe this Women's Equality Day, maybe we should come together as a commission on that day, take a group photo as a commission and post it and be proud of the commission we so happily proud to be served on for that day. And that's just a thought. Maybe that day we are serving on the commission for gender equity, and I know it's Equality Day, but maybe that's a thought.
I definitely think having a group photo will be important, especially as we do look to do some social media posts. I think the other challenge with a daytime event, I know
Yeah.
daytime events are really challenging
Yeah.
for me to get to. But to your point, I think we should aim for at some point, and probably at our September meeting.
Yeah.
So September meeting ideally will be in person.
Yeah.
Not ideally, that will be in person because it's our annual meeting. So note for the record, September's meeting in person, that's when we could definitely take that photo. Thank you. Okay, so moving forward, this will be shared in a shareable collaborative document through Google within a couple days. Hopefully all the wonderful things that folks just put on here will be added to it. I did add already, just again, you don't have to do anything in the social media content. I think it was just an issue of seeing how this could all connect. But if there are events that you'd like to kind of raise your hand for, to kind of coordinate and manage, even if we don't know what that looks like yet, we will do it with a level of grace as we figure that out together.
Yeah.
So we're all good on the same page?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Okay, so ordinance business, or ordinance business, new business, ordinance related activities. Okay,
Can I just say something about that?
yes.
You did send out an email with that, right? Because
Mhm.
that email bounced. Your email bounced back to me. It was undeliverable to me.
So
It
you
rejected it.
replied.
I did reply, but then the server, my work, my personal email
Okay,
rejected it for some reason.
okay.
I'm gonna,
Can
I-
you put me on a safe sender list?
yes, no,
I'm a safe sender, I promise.
you are, I just, it, I don't know, Outlook.
That's okay. This is not something that we're gonna resolve in this room right now, but I think it is important that as we look to our ordinance as our guiding document, there are you guys are laughing at me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different elements. Not every single one of these elements needs to be our priority at this given time. We can only do so much as our busy, engaged, committed individual selves can do. But if anybody has any thoughts, and I'm really looking for an objective. So not an activity, not we will do, but an objective, and I left the language at home as to what exactly an objective is, but we're all engaged professionals, so I'm not gonna insult your intelligence by that, but I do wanna stress that it's not an activity, it's not something we will do. But it's more of an objective as to something we would want to then come in September in our in-person meeting and start to then prioritize activities that meet that objective. That make sense?
Yeah.
Question me, challenge me, I'm okay with that.
I have one.
Yes.
So I think D on this list.
Yep.
To provide information to the public concerning our activities and concerning matters of consequence to women, girls, and other marginalized gender identities such as transgender people and gender diverse people.
Mhm.
I think that's responsive to what we're talking about tonight.
So the objective then would be to provide.
This is Dan Tilton.
Provide information. We don't need to think providing it.
No.
Almost as if this is the objective.
I think that is the
Thank
objective.
you. Yeah. So D is a priority. Not that we're not engaged with all of these 11 principles.
Can you just state what part
D?
of D,
Yep.
what part of the ordinance? It's 115-4
Okay, sorry.
under duties.
15-115-4
-4 duties.
under
D,
duties.
yeah, 4D, yeah.
Letter D.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the record, since it's out of context. Appreciate that. Definitely think everything that we've been talking about falls in with that. So I would just, before I keep talking, anybody else want that?
I had brought up at the beginning of the meeting the fields, I just don't know where it fits.
Programs and practices in all city agencies. So do you mentioned it to me independently.
Yeah, sorry, so this weekend we had games for the 10U softball team at Cranberry Field, which is the newest field in town, and it was an absolute disgrace to have the girls play on a field like that, whether girls, boys, whatever, any league Norwalk should not be represented the way that field was presented to be played on. No lines, mound not dug out, nothing, it just was atrocious. And bringing other cities come in to play us, and we're like, oh, hang on, let's just like scooch some dirt in and try to make it look playable. It's unacceptable.
And obviously that's overseen by Parks and Recreation. I'm
And
not
we have to
inviting
get-
Parks and Rec, but that's
No,
I'm
and
just
maybe
recognizing
it
that's
could
the
be,
agency.
it could be communication. I know we have to submit when we're having games, so they're aware of when we're having games. We do play our games on the weekends. I mean, that's the nature of the beast of the league, and it's been like that for decades at this point. But I really would like to see any kid in Norwalk be playing on a field that they would be proud of, but especially it's the girls.
And I think there's other programs and practices in city agencies, including City Hall and other agencies, that may benefit from looking at their policy, their agencies and practices and programs through a gender equity lens. For example, what is our maternity, for the city of Norwalk, what do maternity laws and maternity rules and regs and rules and regs, I'm not articulating the right
Or
word.
parental leave generally.
Right, exactly. Well, and that was my point, is do we just refer to maternal leave? Is there paternal leave involved? Or is there a connection to the state benefits and opportunities? Are there lactation facilities on campus?
We do
Are
have
there
lactation.
They are.
gender neutral bathrooms, those kind of things?
It's the law.
Okay, so these ones, okay. But do our policies and, things that sort of have been in existence for a long time, could we provide a benefit to the mayor by looking at these documents with a gender equity lens and then providing, so in that case, it's really to assess policies, procedures, because that really is what you were just talking about, assess programs, practices in all city agencies as they relate to or affect girls and other marginalized gender identities such as transgender people and gender diverse people, including but not limited to employment, wages, benefits as they may affect employees in the city. That may not get at what you're thinking.
But policies and procedures, because maybe it is, as the mayor's office has already implemented with, we helped on this too, with the, how to say that you want to be on a board and commission. Maybe it's there's an old policy and procedure of, oh, you just text so-and-so and he tells the crew and down the line where perhaps there's a portal and the commissioner of the league needs to go in and say, we have games on these dates. And then there's a true paper trail to say, okay, this wasn't done. The policy at least exists and perhaps it doesn't, right?
So I just want to speak on that for a minute because I know Ken Hughes very well from Parks and Recs. He's the director of Parks and Recs. I know him very well over the years. He's done.
The director of Parks and Rec is Robert, but Ken Hughes
sorry.
is definitely active in the.
Sorry.
I just want to state that.
I know, but I didn't mean to say that.
But Ken Hughes is very active. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, because from a recent event that we had with the city, he was listed as director of Parks and Recs, which that's off the that's not. But anyway, they have a click and request portal that's for the city of Norwalk for any maintenance or issues. So maybe they need to look at that and say, hey, you guys, there's a portal. You guys could submit field maintenance. I know they just did that at Brookside. They redid Brookside's mound and stuff. So they need to look at the portal more. They need to look at the portal more often because things are not getting as done as often as it should, and grounds are being not maintained.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. In this instance, by the time I get there Sunday morning, I'm not submitting anything. Like that system is more for like with the storm, there's live wires or tree down or that kind of stuff. But for this, by the time I get there, we're too far gone.
Yeah.
And this is nothing against Ken. I've worked with Ken when I was on the council. I know Ken does his job very well. Again, it might all be a communication thing, but the deliverable is the kids are showing up to a field that's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah. Norwalk should not be like.
So it's almost like study the conditions and accessibility. It's about access, right?
Yeah.
To be able to do it, providing the.
So is it an accessibility issue? Oh, well, I guess it is an accessibility issue because no kid should be able to. No kid or nobody should play on a field, whether you're a kid or adult, especially what if someone was to get hurt?
So Sharon, can you just say that again? Because I like that language. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, it's right by me.
I know.
I'm thinking accessibility, like how we created the website for people to apply to become a board or a commissioner. It didn't exist before. There wasn't access to actually do that.
Right.
So creating accessible.
Well, so it sounds like there sort of is, but it's
That's
not
not the word.
the timely, okay, but okay, so and again, this is an example of a very specific issue, right?
Yeah.
Which really, I think we all recognize. I think it would go under D, not D, sorry. it would go under, lost my own train of thought, H, to assess programs and practices in all city agencies, sort of,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of abbreviating that particular thing, the whole thing. So I think that is something that would go in there, and I think if we apply the gender equity lens, I think it would be, you know, looking at and ensuring that all the fields, whether, because some fields are just baseball fields, some
Yeah, and
fields
some
are
are just
baseball and
softball, so,
softball,
yeah.
and some are softball.
Whatever, yeah.
So it could be, you know, how many softball fields are there versus, you know, street. I mean, we have definitely gone down this road before.
Yeah.
We have, I know. So it might be looking back at some of that information might be helpful.
How many have they added since then? Because there's
Cranberry's the one that's been added, but that's the thing, it's the newest field, should be.
Well, the thing that we were after a lot really was what the data currently says
That's right,
about
right.
the usage and,
Yes.
so, but again, if we identify H as one of the main objectives that we want to focus on, then that would kind of not dictate, but direct where our efforts could go. So I'm not necessarily hearing any disagreement with it. So far, we have D and H. Is there,
A and B. I wonder if it would make sense to do some sort of polling for the commissioners to land on the 3 to 5 that we select.
Good, yeah.
Because we can I just noticing the time, we can have conversation about which ones make sense, but where we land, perhaps we do it or whatever technology we use to
for sophomore?
land on the highest scoring ones, and then they become the top 3 or the 3 to 5.
Yeah, and that's what we had done in the past to
Yeah.
establish what we've worked under till now, so I think it's a great idea.
Okay, I'd be happy to do that. Again, we don't have to do it, we're not gonna do it right in this given moment. I'm not that good technologically to
No, but just send it out.
form out to you right now.
Yeah.
Again, online folks, I just wanna make sure that you have a chance to jump in, add your comments, thoughts. I know that you can hear pretty well, so you did hear the suggestion that Simone just had, which everyone seemed to fall into agreement with. Yes, I'm seeing
Nodding
heads,
heads, yeah.
nodding.
Good.
And I think it's helpful that we've discussed this tonight too, so we all kind of have some
Context.
ideas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Great. All right, terrific. So then I will follow that. Sorry. Okay, so next on the agenda is 2026 and 2027 openings. So as of right now, we do have 2 openings in the fall. And that is because our colleagues, Shannon and Yvonne, are rotating off. So I know, sorry, this is informal and inappropriate. All right, so I will drop yours off. I need your address. Send it to me privately, please, not on the public meeting. Thank you for your service to the Commission on Gender Equity.
Thank you.
So thank you to both of you. Not only do I truly appreciate you and I'm very, 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 very sad to see you leaving, but you're also our vice chair. So, so we will indeed miss you both. So we will have 2 openings on the commission. So I do want to encourage you all to encourage your network, express interest through the link of the Connecticut website, City of Norwalk website. Also, there is a good chance that I may not be able to stay for chair. I have a new professional opportunity I'm engaging in, so I'll share that with you all independently. But I'm not sure if I will be able to continue in the chair role. So I just want to kind of put that out there. So at our September meeting, and there'll be some conversations between now and then. But in that, we will be looking for a whole new slate of officers. Sorry. Okay, so
may I just add something?
hang on one second. If there are any other commissioners who I've neglected to identify that they will not be with us in the fall, please let me know after the meeting, and I will make sure I get you one.
No.
So, again, I just want to let you all know, in our September meeting, we will need to vote for officers, and hopefully maybe between now and then, there may be some additional appointments to the commission as well. So please share with your network. Yeah. Comments, questions, concerns, thoughts? Sorry, Andre, go ahead.
So, you know, as a newly elected commissioner, I would want to take this opportunity to Shannon. You know, I know you for so many events throughout the city. It's been a pleasure knowing you, getting to know you well, starting to be on this commission. Because I'm a senior every day, so every meeting. But I will see you still around.
Yeah.
And Yvonne, it's you know, we just met, but I know we'll still see each other around town. But it's been a pleasure getting to know you the first meeting and now this meeting.
Thank you, Andre. And
Welcome.
I just want to take the opportunity to thank the Commission for the opportunity. I have had wonderful experiences. I think we've done a lot of meaningful things through this time we've been together, and I really appreciate being part of it, and I will see you all around.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's insane. It's been an absolute pleasure to serve on this. Expand my network of different women in the community and different connections. As much as I would love to continue, it's a little too much. I'm trying to learn boundaries in 2026. Yeah. But I really am grateful for the opportunity and to work with all of you, and you all know where to find me. So, and you've already got me on the list for
We're not letting go of either. Don't we need guest speakers? So, Bhavon, look for a guest speaker invite. Okay.
You know, 5 years ago, we had a vision to reinstate the Women's Commission, and we had a slate of the second part, and the two of you were part of that, right? So 5 years you have been on this commission, and we might not be exactly where we want to be, but we're here. We're one of 2 commissions across the state doing this work. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart to both of you for the effort. I know it's a lot of hours, a lot of work, but you've been so valuable.
Thank you.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you both so much.
All right. Moving on to discussion, community events and commissioner concerns. I want to mention one of the things that I thought might be helpful for us in preparation of our September meeting, which I'm just going to add to the ordinance prioritization survey, is if you don't mind, share a little bit, because it has been 5 years, right? So some of us have been involved since 5 years. Some of us are very new, but what is, and I'm going to credit Simone with this idea. I want to just get a sense of what your why is. Like, why did you say yes when asked, right? To some degree. And what is the impact that you would want to see the commission as a whole have on the city of Norwalk? So it's really more just a personal reflection that maybe can inform our work as a whole, as a body, as a community of commissioners. But I think it's just something that I'd like to kind of take and then do kind of a little analysis of, and just really get a really good picture of who we are as a commission. I'm not forcing you to do this, but I would like you to, if you are comfortable. I just think it would be helpful to really, for us to kind of, hit the ground running in September at our new meeting. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention. Andre, you said you had something that you wanted to mention on the agenda, which would be open discussion. So if anybody online has anything, please raise your hand.
I had something.
That's okay.
So I guess no, I was I'm involved with Visit Norwalk, and with under the direction of Sabrina and Anna Brial. We have another event coming up. We have the Sono Market, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. If anybody's interested in popping by, it's at Sono South Norwalk. It's from 11 to 3. I'm there.
Thank you.
So, well,
Thank you.
I have to be there.
All right. Thank you, Andre.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Is that Washington Street?
It's Washington Street. Yes, it's right in front of the old plants or whatever that used to be.
50 Washington
It's
Street.
on the back, it's on the back side of 50 Washington, not the parking lot side, the street.
Yeah.
Street side.
Yeah.
We take over the,
Thank
we
you.
take,
Yep.
we take over the street from, like before the bridge to where the jewelry, the light stores.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is a neat event. All right. Any other discussion under community events and commissioner concerns? Seeing as such, is there a move? I'm reading everybody's body language. Is there a move to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Shannon and seconded by Jasmine. The meeting is adjourned at 8:07 p.m.
Thank you all for
Thank you.
sticking with us through this process.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Text me
Bye-bye.
Jessica. I'll
Yeah.
drop it off on my way.